Welcome to AllBrands After Hours with me, your host, Courtney Douthat. Today is a special episode. So I just got back literally today from Bernina University where they showed us the new Bernina B990. This machine is gorgeous. And of course, my wheels start spinning as how can I use this with my ScanNCut? So I'm going to walk you through the steps that I know that it's going to be able to work. So let's say we had some fabric with some hearts on it, and we actually wanted to make those hearts into appliques so we could have our ScanNCut cut it out and our embroidery machine embroider it for us and make a design. I selected embroidery and I went ahead right here to do the built-in scanning. So all I told it was to scan image and select the hoop. It says, hey, make sure your hoop's in there and there's nothing around your hoop that's accidentally going to hit. So I am using the smaller hoop, but you can scan on all the hoops, even the gigantic 16 by 12 hoop. So this right here on the screen is Bernie. So while you're scanning, you'll see it's going around my hoop to scan. Bernie is on there and he's just letting you know how far you are in your scan. It really doesn't take that long to scan. Of course, the larger hoop takes longer to scan than the little mini hoop that I'm using here, but you can scan again on any of those hoops. And there are 4 hoops, the small, medium, large, and giant hoop, and they all come with this machine in the box. And that was a real-time scan. So now that we have this scan, what I want to do, so the idea is if I send this scan over to my version 9.2 Bernina software, I can actually make the stitches for around these hearts to make custom appliques. So if you didn't have a Brother embroidery machine where you could do my connection, you could actually bridge the gap with the V9.2 software. Now, that software is coming out probably in the next few weeks or so, so keep an eye out on Bernina's software for your update. This version hasn't come out. We're going to fake it till we make it right now, and I'm just going to show you what you're going to do. So there will be a button that will allow you to retrieve the image from your machine, and then you're going to bring it in. We're going to go to auto digitize, and then we're going to remove the hoop and the background so we just have our hearts. And we're going to tell it we want a satin stitch. And that makes it into a fill. But if we come down here, we can tell it we want it to satin stitch all the way around. So now we can make a custom applique, and now we've created the stitches to actually stitch out that design. How cool. So the ScanNCut would cut the fabric out for us, and then our software right here would actually make that custom satin stitch. Now, if you didn't want to scan your material in on your ScanNCut to cut it out, you can actually save this design as an SVG and send that over to your ScanNCut to be able to cut it out. And then you can cut out of whatever fabric you wanted, not just the one that you could scan in. How neat. Left to do is to go ahead and send this design back over to our embroidery machine, our B990, to stitch it out. And the B990 is wireless, so you can send that embroidery design back over to your B990 wirelessly. Now, after I was done embroidering and making those couple of custom appliques, I could actually go in and add some cool designs to this. So they have these mini designs, and I love them. I'm going to select this little bird right here, and I could put him anywhere that I want to. Put him over here. I could put him in the center, whatever I'm feeling that day. So for this guy, should I make him larger, smaller? I love the bounding boxes that you can automatically resize, and the fact that I can zoom in just by a touch of my hand is so great, and I can really go in and look at those stitches. Now, something really cool is they have these little knobs that you can actually move back and forth to even position. That way, if you don't want to do it by your hand or the movement keys, you could actually do it that way. I love that they're giving me multiple ways just to easily be able to move things on my screen. So I'm going to add, let's see, this little bee right here, and maybe put him in the other one. Now, if you notice what I just did is I locked my bird and unlocked my bee, because that way I'm not disturbing the bird if I'm doing that. But I could select them both and then I could move them both at the same time. But I love being able to lock my design, so if I have something perfectly centered, moved exactly where I want it, I'm not going to accidentally undo that, move it. If I've taken the time to center it perfectly, I can now do it that way. Love that option. So I'm going to come here and actually go to the colors and change the colors of my designs. Oh, my husband wants to show me where things are. And then I'm just going to lighten this because I felt it was a bit dark for what I want it to do. So I'm just lightening that shade just a bit just to be able to see it a little bit better. All right, there are my items. And of course, I could select all of them and move them all together, grouping them, of course. And I could put them over here in the corner and anything like that. There, we're going to zoom on in. There's my bird and all of her beautiful stitches, and I can make sure that I have it perfectly right where I want it. There we go. There's a grid that you can also add or unadd, whatever you prefer, to be able to line up a little bit better. I kind of like it without the grid, but it's personal preference. Now, playing around with the machine, I noticed if you hold down on a design, additional editing features come up. So if I wanted to move them left to right or anything like that, just by a click of a button. I thought that was a little neat thing that I didn't realize until I accidentally did it. And I was like, what did I just do? Now, lastly, I want to show you a really cool feature. So if I have brought this design in and then, maybe shrink it down just a little bit and then bring in an additional design, like a little flower head like this one, I could actually there's a button that I could show it where the start, stop parts are, so where it starts the design and where it ends the design, and I could match those up. So that way it's a continuous design. How neat is this? So we've got both of those designs right here. I kind of aligned them close to each other. Now I shouldn't have selected both like I did, so I will unselect in a minute. I go to edit. And then I'm going to select rotate and rotate until my design, those start stops are kind of right above each other. And then we're going to go back and we're going to select both parts. And then I get to do the fun part of match start stop. And now it's one single design. How amazing is that? So now it's all together and it's just so perfect and custom. All right, so this I had to show. They kept saying that, the hoop is so large, you could put people through it. And of course I could go through it, it's me. But my husband wanted to show even he can go through this gigantic hoop. And he never likes to be on camera. Something I also wanted to show is that there are new fabric clips that go on the hoop. So they actually clip right here and they hold down your stabilizer or whatever. So think if you were doing freestanding lace, you're just kind of hooping some aqua mesh, so it would actually hold that down. Now, of course, they didn't have the clips out because they're little bitty and it was a big show, but I thought that was really cool that they have a new feature on their hoops to be able to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed a quick overview of some of the cool features of this B990. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this machine because it is now mine. All right, guys, if you are local to one of our stores, of course, reach out to that store. You can do a deposit to be one of the first ones to get your hands on this machine. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's the easiest way to let us know that you guys want more of these videos. Y'all have a good night. Bye.